Yeah, I'm excited. Hi guys, Jonathan from Two Raven Studios. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe. We have new videos every week and you don't want to miss out. So today we're going to have a little bit of a bonus video. So if you watched my top 10 most wanted miniatures of this year that I released a little earlier this year, number one was Lionel Johnson, the Primarch from Forge World. This miniature looked incredible and it finally showed up and I'm really excited. Since this just showed up and I'm testing out a new camera, not this one, the one up here that's going to be filming the miniature. So we're going to unbox this, show you all the parts. I'll put it together so you can see what it looks like assembled at the end, and let's just get right into it. So as we open up the box, we have the instructions and all the bits, so you can look through this. Got a nice painted picture on the front. All the parts and assembly. There's a couple different options. You have the two different swords. And it's actually two different scabbards for the swords, as well as the two different heads. So here we have all the pieces of Lionel Johnson himself. So there's the body. There's pretty clean with very few mold lines on there. If you look at it, you can kind of see the inside of the leg there. There's some few mold lines, but they're very minimal. It's actually a pretty good cast. I have this cloak, which has some really nice detailing down the edge. You have the little Dark Angel symbol in the corner, and the little detailing around the edge with the fur in the middle. It's a very nice cast, very nice piece. You have the extra piece of fur that goes along the top there, as well as the part of the cloak that's going to go on the body. Most of these pieces have little to no mold lines. They're very nice. You have the tabards, front and back. Kind of see there's pretty nice detailing on the front one. You have the wings, the plate in the front with the belt. This is grenades. One fell off. It's in the box, in the forearm. These shoulder pads are really cool. So you have the lion head one on the one side, and then the angel on the other side. The camera wants to focus. There we go. It's very nice. And you can see the arms attached on the inside, and there's a spike on the elbow pads, which is a little kind of neat, a little different. So here's the other arm. You can see that spike again with the giant power pack that is some cool detailing on it. You have the iron halo. The leg is for one of the bases. You have his gun, belt piece. You have the helmet, which is really cool looking. There's a little bit of a mold line on the side, but other than that, it's pretty clean. And then you have the two hip plates there. Pretty cool looking pieces. You have the knife, some heads for the guys on the bases, and the head of the man himself, which is very, very nice. Nice detail. I love it. It's definitely what I'm going to go with on the miniature. And just this head for the base has cool detailing. It has like all the layers. It's kind of neat. I have the two different sword options. You have the lion sword. Slightly warped, but it's not bad at all. Crisp detail. You can kind of see the scale of it. It's actually about as big as a Primarch Marine. So the sword itself is gigantic. You put him next to the Primarch Marine, you see it dwarfs a regular Marine. Pretty big model. If you don't want to use the lion sword, you also have the wolf blade, which it's got some nice detailing. I'm going to go with the lion sword on the miniature, but this definitely has some nice detailing too. And then you actually have scabbards for either, which I think is kind of cool. You have the one for the lion sword and the sheath for the wolf blade there. It's kind of cool they put that detail into it, so it's two options there. And these are all the parts of Lionel Johnson himself. Pretty nice. So here's all the pieces of the base, which is a lot. So you can kind of see there's a lot of detail on these Marines on the base. I think I want to convert them up to be Dark Angels instead of Night Lords, but there's some pretty cool detailing on these guys. You have the different arms, you can see the Night Lord symbol. The other shoulder pad's really cool looking. Everything's all beaten up. There's another shoulder pad. Again, it's beaten up. You have the weapon of the one guy, broken chain glaive, some guy's leg that has some cool detailing on the front. It's like some skin on the front of the leg. 2 power packs once it gets into focus. You can see the one actually is broken. It's kind of cool. It has the exposed cabling on the inside. We already looked at this sprue, but it's the heads again. And again, I love the detail on that middle head. If I can get into focus, you can see all the layers of like the skull and the brain and everything. It's really neat. Then you have the mass of the scenic base. There's some very, very nice detailing. It's superbly cast as well. There's like no mold lines or anything. And then here's the little extra bit to attach it on. It's got nice fine chain detailed in there. Again, cast is very nice. And then you have his standard base with the fallen brazier on it, which is pretty cool. So it has the 2 bases as well. So you have the giant base that for the scenic base. If I can grab them, there's a giant base. And then the 40mm that goes on top of it. So that just sits on there. And then that's how the whole thing would go together, the scenic base. So overall, very, very nicely cast. So here is the model assembled. Parts of it are only together with blue tack right now because I'm leaving them separate. But I noticed there actually is a slight miscast right here on the front of the chest, but it's no big deal. Millipuddle fixed that pretty quick. But the detailing on him is superb. It's went together very nicely, very little problems. There's very little in the way of gaps. There's going to be very little gap filling at all in this miniature. The seams are put in smart places to hide them. But you can see the iron halo there is only tacked on. That's why it's popping around. I couldn't really figure out how you're supposed to glue this gun on. I'm going to have to play around with it. I know it's supposed to go back here somewhere in the pictures, but there really isn't a place to put it on nicely. And I also want to kind of cut the bottom off that helmet and glue the helmet on the base because I really like the helmet, even though I want the bear head on him. So overall, I am very impressed with this miniature, and I just can't wait to paint it. Just kind of bring it towards the camera so you can see some of the detail on it as I rotate it around. But it's very, very nice. I am very impressed with this miniature. I've had Forge World miniatures in the past where the resin casting wasn't so great. It's pretty good on this, except for that little flaw in the front. So, I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos about this in the future. It's going to be a whole series about the assembly and the painting of this. So you can look forward to a video about how to assemble and some tips and tricks about putting resin miniatures together. That'll be the first one in the series. Then I'll have one about painting the black armor, and we'll see where we go from there. But you definitely don't want to miss any of that out. So to make sure you don't miss out, make sure you're subscribed. And if you could please like and share this video, that's really helpful for me. And until next time, keep on gaming and paint your minis.